Hey everybody, it's Dave here, Holiday for Two. So today is the complete ride video of my off-road trek from Little Pan staging area out to Gillette and back again. This is out near Table Mesa Road recreation area, just north of New River and south of Black Canyon City off the I-17. If you want to find out more about Little Pan, check out my video. I'll put the link up in the corner for you. And don't forget, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you'll be notified when I put out more videos like this in the future. So what is this ride? What kind of a ride is this going to be? Well, I recommend, extremely recommend, not doing any of these trails unless you have a high-profile vehicle. A Jeep, ATV, quads, a dirt bike, those will be fine. And you come out in Little Pan and you're going to make a right and go on to the main trail, and you'll see what I'm talking about in just a minute. This particular trail right from Little Pan to Gillette is a rather rough one. It's not bad. It's wide. You've got lots of room, but there are some places where it does get a little rocky and bumpy. So if you're in a Jeep, you might want to air down for sure. This is a little map from a book that I have called Arizona Fun Treks, and I highly recommend this book. I'll show you a link in just a second. This is the map of BLM Table Mesa Recreation Area, and it shows all the trail all the way up to Tip Top. Fun ride. And there's the link for the book. I'll be sure to put a link down below in the description. If you want to go to Amazon and check it out, you can get the Kindle version. I think it's like $19.99, or you can get the spiral bound edition where they will mail it to you. So look down below in the description for the link to that. Great book to have if you're interested in doing a lot of off-roading, especially in Arizona. They have books for Colorado and Utah and a few other states. This is my map from Gaia, and you can see it's 5.7 miles. Total time was 52 minutes. That had a little stop up in Gillette, and the blue line that you see in the circle, that's the loop. Now the northern part of that loop is the easier way. The part from the little red dot in the center, that's where I left and went up to Gillette. And it's kind of funny in here, my camera kept getting bumped and I had to stop and tighten it up. The camera mount kept shifting forward and forward and forward so that I got a really good view of the road here, so you can kind of see it on the camera. Like I said, it's a nice road. It's wide. Got plenty of room if you ever meet up with somebody. You'll see in a few minutes I'll meet up with some other people out there on quads with kids and stuff. This particular section of the road is a little bit bumpy and a little rocky. There, I fixed my camera right there. So that was probably why the camera kept shifting down, because of these bumps and stuff. Once I tightened it up, I think it didn't have any more problems. And we've been on this trail in the past. It's we had it when we had our we did this trail in our 900 Racer trail that we had, the 900 trail model, and we did this several years ago. And it's funny, in the book they give this a green trail, so it's an easy trail. There are just a few spots where it gets a little tricky, and actually there's a few farther up that I didn't get to in this trip. There's one trail called the Terminator. I love that name, but that is a popular trail for the Jeep group who like to get out and do rock crawling. It is difficult. That's why they have it red in the book. It's a difficult one. But here these guys have got kids riding with them, so hey, it's not a rough trail, and there's plenty of room. You just want to slow down in a few spots and take your time, or you're going to get bumped around. Beautiful weather. Oh, the weather was awesome. I think it got up to 72 that day. Fix my camera time. It's a bumpy road. Yep, it sure was bumpy. Now there are a few places, you'll notice the trail that goes off to the right there. There are a few other trails that you can take that will take you to different places that go down into to the right over there and go down into the wash. But this trail right here is the one you want to take to get across the river and go into Gillette. This little section was a little bumpy, but not bad. And I didn't even air down my tires. I could probably have aired down to a little bit. I think the regular recommended pressure is on those. It's like 10 pounds each tire. I think I could probably go down to 6 or 7, and that'd make it a little bit cushier, a little smoother. But in all honesty, it really isn't that rough. It's just the rocks right here. I'm kind of going left and right, so I just have to be careful and watch my line. So many trails out here in Table Mesa Road. This is all part of Table Mesa Recreation Area. And I'm just heading to Gillette, but if you keep going on around, there's some old Indian ruins that are up and around the corner. And here's where I started to go over to the right, and I turned. What happened was I realized this is a good way to go if you like a really steep climb up and climb down. It drops right over the hill there and goes pretty steep. I just decided I'm going to play it safe and go around to the other side. You'll see in the map up there. I could have gone down the hill, and I guess looking at it again, it wasn't too bad, but it was a little steeper than I wanted to take on right now. And I know Tammy said right before I left, "Be safe." Well, going down that hill, I probably wouldn't be very safe, but it'd be fun, right? And of course, stay on this road, go around through Gillette. You could see the Indian ruins. I think I'll tell you about it in just a minute. And also an old town called Tip Top. This was all 100 years ago. This was all mining, and still is actually. It's all mining country, from Phoenix all the way up until Crown King to Wickenburg. Lots of old mines up in here. If you're from out of state and you probably don't know that much maybe about Arizona, there are a lot of mines up in here. Silver mines, a few gold mines, and of course down in southern Arizona, copper mines. Oh, and that's another trail that goes off to a different destination. You definitely want to have yourself a good trail map when you come out here. If you're in a Jeep or like a Tacoma or something with four-wheel drive and you come out here, or a Land Cruiser, or if you're in an ATV of some sort side-by-side, you want to make sure you have a good like a ride command or a GPS mapping system so you don't get lost. I can't tell people that enough, because you think in the desert you're not going to get lost. Well, it happens. People get lost out here all the time, and it's easy to think it's going to, I can't get lost out in the desert. Come on, there aren't that many trees, but you'd be surprised. You get down in a wash creek, or you got the mesquites on both sides of you, and the saguaros are pretty tall. It's easy to get lost and lose your sense of direction out there. Now here's where I'm getting into the Agua Fria water, it's the riverbed right here. And sometimes there is water here, so you want to watch for that if you come through here and during rainy season. This area right here will get pretty deep. It'd be nothing unusual for this area right in here, right where I'm at, right there, to be underwater. In fact, that's probably why this car is over here on the right side. Somebody came out here and ended up getting stuck. Guess he won't do that again. And it's a Can-Am, in case you're wondering what I'm riding, because I really didn't show it. It's a Can-Am HD7 Outlander Pro, and it really rides really well. And I didn't even let the air out to soften up the ride. It's just getting used to the to driving it, because I'm used to driving the Jeep. I'm used to driving the Razor 900, but this was a little different. I've never really driven a quad before. Now, once you get around and go to the left there, I realized later, after I started looking and going back over the Google Maps, I probably missed some of the ruins off to the left there that I can't see because the camera doesn't cover that. I think there's some ruins off to the left there that I may have missed, and there's a little trail I just drove by. Funny how you just catch these things later on after you're watching it and going back over the maps. But when I was out there, I was more concerned about finding the trail and that I haven't been on for a while, and being safe, of course, but trying to find the town of Gillette. And when I got here, there was nothing except some mining operation over the hill. You'll see that in just a second. We are now in the town of Gillette. The correct spelling doesn't have an E on the end, so it's either Gillett or Gillette. I've often called it Gillette, Arizona, but I'm wondering now. If anybody knows the answer on that, then put something down in the comments below. Anyway, I'll show you around here. There's not a lot really to see. Let me show you around. There's like some people out here still doing some mining over to the east over here. And it's breezy today. And my little mouse that sits on top of my microphone, I don't know what happened. It blew off somewhere, so I have to go find it. This is kind of all where the old town of Gillette used to be. I'm just going to call it Gillette. It's easier for me. But that little ride I just came over the hill there, that's the kind of ride I don't think Tammy would have enjoyed too well. I'm not sure she would have enjoyed that ride. It was a little bit of the bumpy. It was fun for me on this, but I don't think it would have been fun for a passenger. This is different than riding a regular side-by-side. But you gotta be paying attention. When you ride one of these, you gotta pay attention. That's for sure. You can't just sightsee and not pay attention to the road. I got these little rock piles. Now this road takes you around. If you keep on this road, it goes around the hill here. Takes you to some old ruins over there, the Hohokam ruins. I don't know if I'm going to get to it today. I might. We'll see. I might try the road and see. No shooting, it says. Closed road. Okay. No shooting to reduce resource damage. Closed. The road is closed to motor vehicles. All right. Fine with me. And the river, I just went through a little creek there. That's part of Agua Fria. And there was a little bit of water running through it. I just went through the water there. Wasn't too bad. But I did some reading on Gillette. And if you get a chance, look it up on Google and look up Gillette, Arizona. But there's a lot of history behind it. The main town at the heyday was probably for about 10 years while they were pulling silver out of Tip Top. This was a booming city, well, town, I should say. Tip Top at one time had as many as 500 people that lived there during its heyday. And at one time it was the biggest town in Arizona back in 1880. And then Gillette, they built this town as kind of they would get the ore from Tip Top and they would bring it to Gillette, and the stagecoaches would take the iron or the silver to Wickenburg or Prescott, Phoenix, and from there. So they made some money, I guess. There were some stagecoach robberies that happened in this area. Different money, whatever they were carrying, I guess the guys stole. They ended up catching the guys that did it. There was one, I was reading about what they called the Wickenburg massacre, where the stagecoach was robbed and about 6 people were shot. The driver of the stagecoach and a few other people. called it the Wickenburg Massacre. But it's colorful history. They need to make movies about this kind of stuff, or write books about it. It's so interesting. But this was a booming place. This was the stagecoach run. And I'm guessing that this was the stagecoach run going to Tip Top. And probably through here instead of Black Canyon City. They probably came through here and on the way to Phoenix. I'm just speculating there. Because, 100 years ago, places like New River and Black Canyon City, they probably weren't as big as they are now. This is fun. All right. Get back on the trail and get going. All right. I hope this camera is working. I'm putting the camera on the front here. I noticed at one point the camera was like down because the bumps were so hard. So I had to stop and put the camera back up. My little GoPro here on the front. I tightened it up really good so it wouldn't flop around. But these roads aren't smooth. I mean, come on, what the hey? All right, I'm gonna go back to Little Pan, and I'm gonna see if I can go a different way to get across the river. Wish me luck. It might be a little bit easier, so I'm going to try it that way. That other way was a little bit rough, especially going up the hill, but I want to see if there's a little smoother way to go through. So hang on, here we go. So my main goal, like I said, was to try and find the other way around back to Little Pan. And it turns out that was actually the easy way back. So if you're ever coming out here in a pickup truck or four-wheel drive vehicle and you want to go the easy way, then take the southern route. You'll see, go back on that map I showed you earlier. And I believe now that the ruins may have been on to the right of this trail. So if I go back, I'll take a little more time and get kind of nosy around over there and see what I might have missed. There should be some ruins of an old hotel along with a cemetery. There's supposed to be a cemetery out here. I can't imagine that the people who bought the property here and who are doing the mining would have moved the cemetery, but I don't know about that. I know that as I go down this trail, on the left you'll see some signs off to the side, and those signs say no trespassing, private property. So I just left them alone. I didn't try to get over there because I know that there are people that can get mining claims out here, and that's better to do that. If you ever go out to these trails out here and you see a mining claim, leave it alone. That's they're very serious about that. The river here, this is the Agua Fria. This is the second entrance that you can take it in. And it's not too bad right now. There's a little bit of water trickling through there. I didn't even get my feet wet. Well, I may have got my feet wet just a little bit. From here, just take it around. And then as you go around the loop, and then it comes back to the entrance of where you came in to Little Pan originally, and then take it back to Little Pan. Next time I come out here, I'm going to take a little time right in this area and see if there's a shortcut between right in here and Little Pan. I know years ago we came out here with friends, and one of our friends actually found a trail that cut off from this road and to the right of this road, and then went down into the wash and back up, and was kind of a shortcut back to Little Pan. Well, I was trying to look on my map app to see if I could find the trail connector. I know that there's a trail there. If you look on this map right here, I'm in the area that says Moore Gulch. And I know there's a trail, you can see it on the map there, that connects somewhere south of there, but there's no connecting trail that I could find. It goes down into the wash and then takes you back to Little Pan. So one of these days I get back out there, I'm going to hunt for that little connection again. Made a few stops to see if I could see a road going off to the right that might go down into that wash. That would help me connect up to that other trail that goes back to Little Pan. Otherwise, I just take this around, and that's what I ended up doing anyway. That was kind of fun because I could open it up a little bit and really get flying once in a while. You just got to be careful. Once in a while you'll be going along and there's other people coming in cars and trucks, so just keep your eyes open. This is all BLM land, and if you do get out here and you have a vehicle with like a rooftop tent or something like that and you want to kind of go off the road a little bit and camp, you're free to do that. You don't need to camp in the Little Pan area. There's a lot of little areas where you can pull off, like off to the side there, off to the left. And off to the right, you're going to see some other people pulled off. There are some spots where you will come along in here in just a minute. You'll see them. People will camp, and then they will shoot off to the side into the of their camp. They'll shoot into the embankment. And there are some rules about that if you're shooting. I believe one of the rules was about being clear of the roadway. So I don't know if that falls in that jurisdiction or not. Still looking for that trail. Actually, I think right there was a spot I just drove by there. I think that might have been one of those connections that go, if I take that little wash up and around, it'll connect up to that trail. But I was trying to get back and didn't want to spend my time getting off the main road here. But I believe that might have been the trail that goes down through this wash and then takes you back to the northern trail there at Little Pan. And you saw some people off to the left there. They were doing some shooting and some camping. And as you're driving around, you'll see other trails off to the side. There are so many trails. There's even a trail. Oh, here comes somebody. That might have been the people I passed earlier. You could stay on this road and then turn. There's another road up here that goes to the left. And it will take you to a place called... near Black Canyon City, the Rock Springs Cafe. And I believe there's a way you can get from here to Rock Springs Cafe. Great little spot. It's up by Black Canyon City. From here, it's probably about 4 or 5 miles. But you have to take some pretty rugged trails to get there, but it's so much fun. And then they have great pies, lunches, and they're very, usually on the weekends, they are packed for lunchtime. But that's a great little spot to go. It's in Black Canyon City, Rock Springs Cafe. So I just continued down this road and made my way back to Little Pan. And like I said, you always got to be watching for traffic coming the other way, because once in a while there'll be trucks, ATVs, or big trucks coming. There might even be big trucks bringing equipment to the mining operation over there by Gillette. goggles in here. I got these, so I'm going to try my goggles, because man, that dust in your eye is not fun. How do I look? That should make it better. That should be a lot better. Getting real close to Little Pan here. I was kind of anxious to come back and get my lunch. I think I was putting the speed up here. I was probably hitting about 35 through here. Easy drive though. Oh my goodness. And fun. There's the entrance coming up. Make sure you stay to the right. If you go to the left right there, that'll take you up over to the southern part of the river. And more trails, of course. So you could always do that. A lot of trails. Like I said, you come in here to Little Pan, you can go to the left or the right. There's a lot of places in here you can pull your RV in and park. There's even a restroom. 2 bars, cell service. We had T-Mobile, had good cell service. You can offload here for the day, or you can spend the night here. There's lots of room. And there's even a little area for children and young teenagers and kids to practice their riding skills. There's like a little riding area. Up around to the left here. Hey, I hope you like this. Wish you safe travels wherever you're going. Be safe, have fun. It's a beautiful world out there. And of course, don't forget, click like, share, and subscribe. Ring that bell. Have a good day, everybody. Thanks for coming along on the ride.